Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Today we're going to start the episode by fixing a very rudimentary thing, fluxed electrum. The problem with fluxed electrum is that you cannot process it inside the Mythic processors, which I think it's an oversight, and you actually have to do it inside normal single block machines. And the best machines in order to make them is from a mod whose name I shall not mention. That is the speed that we're getting fluxed electrum. You might notice that the speed is actually not that bad, but the problem is that when you want like 40,000 of it, that's a problem. It's been 3 hours, I'm waiting for some blocks. So I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to make our own multi-block. The way that we are going to do this is actually not that difficult. All we need to do is that we need to convert one of our interfaces to this one, you know, the smaller one, so that I can have a crate on top. For symmetry purposes, obviously. Then I do have a melter up there, which this interface is exporting redstone to it, and we're getting destabilized redstone. And then we're going to have 3 fluid infusers. We're tripling the speed, basically. The melter is going to put the destabilized redstone into the infusers like so, which is quite fine. And the pattern for flux electrum shall go inside this interface over here. You see? We're getting the electrum. We shall extract on brown with some speed upgrades. Is it going in? Yes. And then we want to send it back on blue. Like so. That works fine. It's triple the speed. I can't really complain. And now this is the speed that we're getting flux electrum. It's way better. Way better. So moving on, what is the next plan? Good question. We need to go to another dimension called Ep41. I don't want to set a pattern for it, we just need one warper. But it is going to consume 4 of my machine casings. I'm not happy about that. And well, we're not missing that much. It's just adamantium and constantan singularities. I have constantan, right? Yeah, this is from the old buffer, I'm not making it. But if we want, it's going to be relatively easy because that actually works inside the Mythic processor. While you are doing that, how do you make adamantium? Oh, we have this. And there's a hole. So the adamantium stinger does have EMC, which is amazing. And I guess at this very moment, any alloy smelter will do. That is our adamantium. Perfect. And we have our singularities. You stop exporting. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our warper. Honestly speaking, I don't really trust anything in this mod pack, so we're going to consume a Shield of Terra. That gives us like a bajillion absorption hearts. And then we go to Ep41. Nah? Is it loading? It's loading. I mean something. Why am I in sand? Oh boy. There are dungeons. We send the warper home. So there are a few things that we want from this dimension, but the most important thing that we want is this, the resonating stone. And I can't see anything. We have night vision. A bit. I'm not gonna press any buttons. Where's the stone? Oh, there are giant worms. Is this supposed to be Dune? Well, there's a bee. Salty Queen. Don't know what it does. Temporal Princess. Another Temporal Princess. And Timely Queen. Yeah, I don't see the stone. Maybe we have to go through a dungeon. Or something. Click this to reset the fight and re-enter the arena. Oh boy, this is a hard fight, be careful, Bedrock will close the entrance. Thank you, Enchanted Grave Key will bring you back. Yeah, that part I knew, this is not a planet. The problem is that it doesn't really tell you which dungeon gives you what. Oh, you're supposed to find it on the surface. Oh, there's a chest. Compressed wafer. Is this another boss fight, or can we just go in? Oh, hi. Hello, people with 4,000 health. We should destroy the spawners first. Yeah, probably a wise idea. Nothing inside. Look at this. I'm not exactly sure how to find the stone, and the tooltips are not that amazing. So we're going to start cheating as we did in Pixonia. Oh my goodness. Did you drop something? Hi. Well, we got something. Gem heart. It's another puzzle. I found a new structure and with like 50 Osoras. So I'm assuming this is something of significance? It's not made out of bedrock. Oh, there's a chest. What? How did I get this? Oh, it's here. I do hear weird people. Torturino. Upgrade key. Honestly speaking, I don't think there's anything else of interest here. At least for the moment. Let's go home. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the overworld and you might be asking yourselves, why did we have to go to Ep41? Well, I did mention that we needed to go there in order to get the resonating stone. But why do we need the resonating stone? That's a good question. I barely remembered this too, so I'm guessing most of you have already forgotten, but we have 14 resource miners, correct? 6 of them belong to the first mythic shell, 8 of them belong to the second mythic shell. And each one of those resource miners requires 2 different fluids in order to run, and each one of those fluids have 2 recipes. One of them is inside a chain of single block machines, and the other one is inside a atomic replicator. Makes the recipe a bit easier and also gives you a better yield. So hence, we have this base over here for making fluids, and not the person. Wrong modpack, sorry. For the 6 original resource miners, what we needed was the vibrating stone, which we found on Vibe. And 3 of those fluids have been automated over here. For the second 8, belonging to the second mythic shell, we need the resonating stone, which does make the recipes a bit easier. So what I have to do at this very moment is to fill in this hole because I keep falling into it, and then start transferring every single production of these liquids to this space over here. I just wanted to mention, I'm not mesmerized. Okay, so it has been a while later and I have been adding a few machines, and I thought before it gets too complicated, maybe I should explain them a bit. We had a setup near our base for making aerial moonshine, which was for Leonard here, and I transferred the machines over here. So we're making cherry juice, then we're making cherry liquor, cherry wine or whatever, and at the end we're converting it into aerial moonshine. Like so. So now we have a fourth replicator, which is also functional. It's not working because there is not enough space in the tank, but that is perfectly fine because we don't really want it to work constantly. And here is the ender tank. These are for the first mythic shell, and unfortunately there is an extra one, weakened cryotium. So I'm not going to bore you to death with the rabbit hole, but what we need is sodium potassium alloy. We are already producing the weakened cryotium and the sodium potassium alloy over here, using a very complex chain of machines. Obviously from a mod whose name I shall not mention. That massive chain is because it's incredibly difficult to get sodium and potassium from that mod whose name I shall not mention, but there was an easier way and somebody left me a comment. And that is Tech Reborn. Using EMC, I have a grinder which takes clay and gives us clay dust. We electrolyze the clay dust, and in return we get lithium, silicon, pulverized aluminium, and sodium. Unfortunately, the cells from Tech Reborn don't really work with filters, so I have to process all of them. The cells go inside the fluid transposer, we hold them inside drawers for fluids. And yeah, I'm actually voiding the extra cells into the trash can because making cells is cheap. Everything has EMC. And it's a good thing I checked, this one doesn't have power. So that is the sodium part. Now we need potassium, and this is where I'm struggling. Obviously there are 2 recipes, one of them uses niter, it takes 2 seconds, and it does give you 2 potassium, or 2 buckets of potassium. The other one uses ender pearl dust. But the problem with it is that it takes more than a minute. It does give you 4 potassium cells, so it's better, but it also gives me some of the byproducts I need, including beryllium and chlorite. And obviously one of the good things is that ender pearls have EMC while niter does not, so I'm confused. I'm also trying not to use that many export buses, so yeah, I have to spam machines for stupid things. Because we already have a pattern for making clay dust, but here I have to export it, add more machines. Well, so far we're using 18 slots of machines and drawers and so on and so forth, just to make one thing, sodium potassium alloy. But you might notice that is our potassium and this one is our sodium. I do have a salt mixer over here, potassium goes in. I also have a liquid phase, so we can link it to our sodium drawer like so. Do you auto output? I didn't know that. But yeah, that is our sodium potassium alloy. Perfect. I think logic dictates that we put it inside the drawer, and this time I'm not actually going to void it, we just add some upgrades. This is something that we need. We don't need to void it. And besides, whenever the drawer gets full, I'm hoping the machines are going to shut down one day. So now we need to have the actual weakened cryotium. So that's another salt mixer with, my goodness, jellied cryotium. Are we actually making that? Oh, we are making that somewhere. Yes. That's good. Okay, we take the ender tank from our old setup and also this ender tank, so that it goes directly to the resource miner. Up to sodium potassium cryotium mixture, everything had to be done in single block machines, but now we come to the replicator. That sodium potassium cryotium mixture goes inside the phantom liquid phase and inside the replicator. But each one of the replicators also requires an essentia, and here's what I normally do. I take a cell, I lock it for one single essentia, and then I put it inside the drives, and voila, we're getting it. And in order to avoid any confusions, I normally take a file and paint a pattern. And obviously we also need to export the essentia into the replicator itself. And it's going in. Nice. So you, my dearest friend, are doing something, and it's been so long that I forgot what the hell are you doing. Weakened cryotium? Yes, that is very true. It's weakened cryotium. So there you go. If for some reason it doesn't really auto output into the ender tank, you have to use a conduit or a pipe or whatever. So from the first mythic shell, only one is left. Spicy pyrotium. How many slots do we have? Okay, exactly 2. That is good. So we need chili, we need abyss. These things have been working for a while, so yeah, we do have a decent supply of garnets, but we're just making the fluids more efficient. Also, I should always remember to use a limited item filter so that the input bus is not clogged up. And you, my dearest friend, start exporting. So weekend cryotium is super simple. We already have everything except the vibrating stone. And I guess some blazing pyrotium. We already have an old setup for it, which is this one. I want to move them. Okay, and set it up. I'll be right back. Hello. I'm back. So out of the 6 original resource miners, we have automated every single fluid for every single resource miner. Now 8 more of them are left. But we're not going to do all of them today because this is a very boring job. We're going to start with milkiest chocolate for Candyland, and I don't really remember how we're making chocolate, but we have 100,000 of them. Well, 94,000 is left. At that time I didn't know, but apparently all of them also require the twilight matter, which we are producing. So voila. Export. And you might notice that the milkiest chocolate actually requires the resonating stone. So yeah, finally we are using the thing that we got from Ep41. Let's try to put some of them in our system, and we are going to ask our interface to export the stone as well as the Candyland garnet. We shall export it to the corresponding replicator. It's going in, perfect. And obviously by using some census essentia, we're actually generating the milkiest chocolate. We also had like 100 buckets of it in our system, but yeah. Here's the ender tank. And while I was taking the ender tank, I did notice something of importance. You might notice that this one is empty. This is liquid seared gravestone, or was. Therefore, that is going to be our next machine. So what we need is a cobblestone generator. A melter goes on top. We give you power, and that should give us seared stone if we give it upgrades. I'm actually running low on upgrades. Let's order 1,000. But yeah, there you go. That is seared stone. Again, that should go inside a drawer. Is it going in? Perfect. We link the drawer to the liquid face, and we shall insert it into the replicator. It's going in. Lovely. And in order to make it, what we need is some Christovia garnets, obviously the resonating stone, and unfortunately, graveyard dust. I am saying unfortunately because I don't really know how to produce this. I mean, obviously I know how to get it. You will get it from undead mobs or zombies in our case, but you can also get it from a crusher, from different jewels. But I don't want to do that. Maybe we make a zombie farm. For now we have 200 of that, so it's a good number. Also, seared gravestone does require vitreous, so we shall have our garbage setup using the drives. And obviously into the replicator, so technically speaking you should work, right? Yes, now you have enough aspects. Perfect. I think the other fluid which is going to cause us some problems is ethereal fabric. That's ghostly matter. That is ethereal fabric, yeah. It's running out. Not that this one is doing amazing, but it will survive until next episode. Thankfully, ethereal fabric is the easiest one to automate because we only need 3 things. The alchemist fleece, resonating stone, and vox garnet. So you learn to export them. Thank you. Seriously, you don't need any fluid? Only twilight matter? That is perfectly fine by me, but we also need alienis. The storage cell is locked for alienis. You go over there. Why did we have 9 items? I thought I automated 8? I don't really know. But that also goes inside the replicator and we should be producing it. Yes, ethereal fabric, 40 seconds. So my fellow lords and ladies of darkness, apparently we have automated 9 fluids over here. 6 of them belong to the first mythic shell and 3 of them to the second mythic shell. And exactly 5 of them remain, which we are going to do on this side, and there are a few more other gizmos. It's not more than 18 in total. But for today, I'm actually done with fluids. Let's move on. I did mention that I'm tired of fluids, but what we're going to work on is some sort of a fluid. I mean, I do understand this is plasma, and plasma is technically not a fluid, but you can put it in a barrel, so it's a fluid. These 2 different multi-block structures that you see in front of you are incredibly important for us, and I have been neglecting them for a very long time. So in this mod pack, not everything has EMC and not everything can be mined. If you want more sednonite, you have to craft it inside that machine. We have already been doing this for a very long time. All you need is some dense plasma and a bunch of gizmos. But in addition to that, there are other things that we have to craft in there. For example, ogreite, or I don't know, myrmitite. So far I have been doing everything manually, and I thought maybe it's time to start working on this. You might notice that we have 1 more plasma controller, so that we would be able to make more plasma, and we don't need our ore processing anymore. Because one of the things that I have done in the past is that I have already put an induction smelter inside the compact machine, hooked up with some blazing pyrotium, and it quadruples the ores, automatically. And this is the ender chest for it. So if we look, we should get some sednonite. Yeah, 4 at a time. Wait a minute. Why is there blazing pyrotium? Ah, something went in. I was really not expecting this mod pack to be this complicated and taking this long, so we're having a few issues with our applied energy sticks. You see, our controllers are there, our terminals are there, and bases are all over the place. So normally in these situations, we would be able to use the wireless AE2, but that has a bug. I'm not exactly sure if it's a bug or not, but I do remember that in Enigmatica 2, I had a lot of problems with it. It would shut down. And trust me, I'm not a fan of things that do shut down or break down once in a while, so we use a quantum ring, you know, so that we can have an interface for this machine. And the only thing that we are going to do is that we're going to enable blocking mode so that it doesn't push the crafting items in. For these kind of craftings, I normally use Ender Chest, and unfortunately in our case it doesn't really work, because if you enable blocking mode here on an Ender Chest, it doesn't do anything. It's the input hatch which is important, not the Ender Chest. However, for testing purposes, let us make a pattern for Sednonite. We shall put it inside the interface. You are online. I'm a bit shocked, because you're not connected. It's okay. We connected. Anyways, if we order Sednonite, are we gonna get it? Yes. When I made this thing, I did not really pay attention to the chunk boundaries. So this side, we had an extra block, so I'm using the interface. But the output has to be exactly here, and well, we don't have a block. So we're going to use a phantom face, which shall be linked to the output like so. And we're going to extract the ores using a filter, you know, into the ender chest. So it should go in. Yep, it just went in. Oh wait, I just remembered. You can't make the ore, because then the crafting job is not going to be finished. So we have to change the pattern. Instead of getting 10 ores, we get 40 ingots. And for Sednonite, it's 20, I think. The condenser is set, but before setting up the patterns, I really want to try something. We want to summon a demon. Also, how the hell do you repair chalk? Mending? Unbreaking would have been nice. So we need a heart, we need the flying ointment, bottled hellfire, pentacle, liquid witchcraft, demonic horn, the cloth, blood, and the stew of grotesque. And apparently, one Athama. So, work. What did I do wrong? My bad. That was not part of the ritual. So give me back my stew of grotesque. Thank you. The rituals from Bewitchment are horrifying. Does it work now? Oh, come on. You know, I do have absorption hearts, I have armor. I couldn't really see that a sacrifice is needed. Yes, we sacrifice the sheep, and we wait. I'm still waiting. Oh, hello. Oh, you're a boss. Oh, I can't put you inside the mob imprisonment tool, which is weird. So first off, he doesn't like us, which is obvious. We can't trade with him, which is a shame. He's dying for some reason, which is another shame. We can't put him in a soul vial. You're supposed to farm this guy with a tax collector bee, but I can't even capture him. I have to be pledged to him. Okay, it has been a while since I have done bewitchment, so I have forgotten a few things. First off, if you use salt, then he's kind of stuck. He was shooting at me, so it's not a perfect square. I'm sorry. Secondly, we need the witch's armor. So I have to remove this. It's not a very expensive thing to make anyways. Wait a minute, witches don't wear shoes. Apparently not. But we do need our pentacle, which we will hold it in our offhand, and we also need a stew of grotesque. We go to him so that he likes us. We drink the stew. Do you like me? I don't think he will kill me anymore. Okay, I have received the pack. I don't really want a pack. I want you in a mob imprisonment tool. Well, okay, as long as you stay here. But just out of curiosity, now that you like me, I can change my armor, right? Cool. Let's go get the stupid bee. Tax collector bees is one of the bees that we have found in a dimension, and it should be somewhere. Okay, that's not the one. Ah, it's here. That is Lord Broth. Go back to sleep. Whoa. Okay, so the tax collector bee was not a jerk, which is weird. Normally they're jerks, but he was happy in the apiary. But let us try to give him all the good genes so that he produces stuff faster. Actually, I don't know if I should have done that. Also, why is there someone here making noises? Is that you? No. So let's use the unaltered drone. We don't need you. This guy also damaged himself, which is perfectly fine. I think he's poisonous. We put the bees in, we give it some power, some production upgrades, automation upgrade. You need access to the sun, you need a flower, which is perfectly fine. There's allium here. And what this guy does is that it's going to generate loot from the mobs next to it. That is the hope. If he finds a flower. Is there like no immunity to poison? Yeah, that's what we want. Wing of Worship. This is a cool staff. Anyways, why did we do all of this? Well, I needed the Wing of Worship. And why do I need that? Well, there is something called a Berserker Steel, which I needed in order to make a multi-block. And well, it does require a few things which are not cheap, but one of them was the Wing of Worship. And I really need that multi-block. I just don't need the one, I need many of them, just to be able to make a few resources. He did drop a lot of garbage. But on a very positive note, he's fast. So wait, they sting him, they give you loot. Interesting. I have set in all the patterns that I needed for the plasmatic condenser, and then I tried to cover the machine, and well, I saw a face. I couldn't help myself. In my defense, it does have purple eyes. And some hair. However, now that I'm in the mood, let's get back to bewitchment. There is one more demon that we need to summon, and his name is Leonard. It uses almost the same material to be summoned, so why the hell not? Let's get over with this. Also, I'm not exactly sure, but I put this salt over here so that it doesn't get out. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to conflict with the actual ritual, but we do need to have a sheep as well. It's extremely difficult to find passive animals in this world. I have killed them all. Or sacrificed them. Abyssal Wastelands, I don't come here. Maybe they're sheep. They're chickens. You know, I'm still flying. It's been a while. Ah, yes, finally. Oh, the ships also get stuck on the salt. Interesting. Very interesting. Not much, actually. Hello, Leonard. You're stuck. You don't like me, I know that. But let us try to get a bit adorable. I throw away my armor. Let's wear them again. We have to hold a green candle and eat a stew of grotesque. Hello, Leonard. Don't kill me. Do you like me? We're good? I did eat this stew. Well, honestly speaking, I don't really care. We just want his drops. And the bee is fast enough. Do I have mining fatigue? Ooh, Leonard is a jerk. Give me 5 seconds. I will kill you. It's just that I have to find my bee. Yeah, that's what we want. Hand of the Dominion. That is also for the Berserker Ingot. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.